Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Eric Parathara, and I want to talk about the two expectations that I would definitely have in my classroom. So here we go. The first expectation would be respect. Respect is very important. This is, I would say, the main one because this will allow the classroom to have that community culture, and it helps with just with the overall learning environment. Some of the few facets that you get with having respect in your classroom would be giving attention to whoever is speaking, not speaking over anybody, keeping your hands to yourself, no shouting out, no cursing or name calling, and that class materials such as textbooks, Chromebooks, laptops, any material that you use in the class is either treated as if it were your own, and if you don't treat your own things with respect, then you treat it as if it was someone else's. Um, you wouldn't want to break your friend's phone, so treat everything like that. Or if it's your own phone, treat everything like that. So that's probably the main things you can get out of respect, which will create an environment where everybody can thrive and learn and pretty much work together harmoniously. So yeah, that's respect in the classroom, my main expectation and first expectation. The second expectation would be to participate and to succeed. Um, you want to participate in the class. There's one reason why we're all in the class. As I'm the instructor, I would want to instruct the students on learning the content that I'm teaching, and the students are there to learn the content because that's what they need to do in school. They need to learn, and whatever that content that I'm teaching, participation, effort, cooperation, these are all aspects that you need in being successful in learning the content. So, the bare minimum is to pass. I believe that in my class, whether you want to be there or not, passing will always be a high expectation of mine of all my students, no matter what. And then right after that would be to succeed. You would want to not just pass in anything you do in life, but to be good at it, succeed at it. If you're gonna do it or have to do it, do your best at it. That's my motto. And a couple of facets to have for this expectation would be to participate in class, listen or being attentive to the content that is being taught, seeking and asking for help, which is important. I know sometimes our pride gets the best of us and we don't want to ask or be embarrassed, but whenever you ask a question, no matter how the result is, that's what's going to help us to learn. And remember that question or content that we're learning. Cooperating and collaborating with fellow classmates. This is a facet of respect as well. There's going to be times where there's group activities and you work in group projects, and if you don't have that cooperation, then respect isn't there, and it's going to be a lot harder to get into a learning environment. Studying concepts and putting in the time. You have to study, repetition, practice, whatever it is, whether it's math, science, English. You do have to study. If it's about a book, you got to read the book, spend time with it, and studying and practicing will help with learning that content. Coming to class on time, not being too absent many times, because then we'll see gaps in the learning. And if you want to succeed and put in your best effort and learn the content fully, you need to be on time to class. And coming to class on time and being there frequently is important. Without coming to class, how are you going to learn? That's the main things that you have to do to learn, and being present mentally and physically is what's going to help you get that grade, that good grade, that passing grade in the class. These are the two main expectations that I would have for my students in my classroom. Respect is that expectation that no matter how you feel about learning, how you feel about the class, how you feel about your classmates, if all kids are showing respect, then the kids who want to learn can learn, and the kids who do not or are uninterested can at least be respectful to the kids who are learning by not distracting, by not being a nuisance, by not shouting out, being disrespectful. These are things that comes from being respectful in the classroom, which allows everybody to have that community of culture, learning, things like that. Any school, any good school will have the student first mentality, the learning mentality, and that's where participation and effort, wanting to succeed comes in. We always need to have that willingness to learn, whether it be in the classroom or in life. So that's why I would have that second expectation of wanting to pass and succeed in the class and doing whatever's necessary to do so. Some of the few challenges that I would foresee with my two expectations would be the willingness to try and to learn. Not all kids come to school wanting to learn. It's a sad fact because we, as kids, we have a lot of other better things we can do or want to do. So it can be a chore to us at times. One solution for this would be to find a way to teach the content with in a more exciting manner. I'm a big fan of using Kahoot or any quizzing sort of technology tool, because that way we can have a sense of competition, or it just makes it fun and keeps everybody, it keeps the content exciting, and that's what you want. If that's what it takes to keep the student to learn, then by all means, that's what it takes. You need to find exciting ways to teach, so that majority or all the students can find that willingness to learn. And to mix it up, if you find more than one strategy that works, then to use multiple strategies so that the kids get bored easily, especially if you keep doing the same thing over again. So to mix it up is very important. Some kids who are not wanting to learn, being a distraction is a problem. At the end of the day, if you're not there to learn, the least you can do is not distract others. Some consequences that I would have in the classroom would be I would give 3 verbal warnings to students who are not following these expectations. Hopefully we won't even have to go into 2 verbal warnings. 1 should be enough, hopefully. But if not, then we would go into detention after school. This is a time where I can connect with the student, talk to them why they are in this predicament, what they can do to not be in this predicament, and how to move forward. And the third one would be, if it happens again more and more often in class, they would be sent to the office or writing a referral. Not things that I would want to do in my classroom, but they have to be there, and the students have to be warned that these are possibilities if they continue to not follow these expectations. Some solutions to these constant problems would be to use maybe an app like Class Dojo, where their behavior can be monitored and be given points. And the points, for example, if they meet 30 points for the week, they can have an incentive of having free time or having excused tardy passes. Of course, everything that I can do within my control as a teacher. A movie day, and maybe if it gets closer to the holidays, having a potluck day. Of course, this can apply to the whole class as well, not just single students. But these are some incentives that can be used for students, especially the students that are having a hard time staying focused, staying on task, and following these expectations. With these 2 expectations, everything else for a student and for the teacher will fall in line, and that community of learning, that's classroom of learning, can be instilled within each student and within the teacher.